Hi there, and welcome to this episode of Write With Me at IELTS Juice. We have another essay to plan for, and the rubric here says, in some countries, more and more people are hiring a personal fitness trainer rather than playing sports or doing exercise classes. So let's break it down. This is an interesting rubric. In some countries, it's not a global thing. There are limited locations on the planet that this trend applies. So we must be limited to certain countries. It is very, very vague, meaning it's not clear. You can define which countries, or you can roll with this. You can follow this pattern and just say that in certain geographical locations on the planet, there are certain countries on the planet that this trend applies. So you carry on with that. The next element is more and more people are hiring. Look at the trend. We are using present continuous tense. Present progressive, are hiring. So it's a temporary thing. It's an ongoing event. And there are more and more people. So it's an ongoing and increasing trend. These are very important elements because you might want to reflect them on your response. So what are they doing now? They hire a personal fitness trainer. Personal. So it's more individualistic. The focus is on the individual rather than playing sports. So no team activity, no volleyball, basketball, soccer or football, rugby, cricket. No. Individual personal trainer is preferred now to these sports I said, or doing group exercises. It says exercise classes, meaning you would join a class of 10 or 15 other people, like a group yoga class, like a group of people who run around a certain park two times, 3 times as a team, like a group of 5 people, 10 people, 20 people that they run together in the morning. Anyway, we have this item as a fact. Let's look at the essay type. It says, what are the reasons for this? Plural, reasons. We need to come up with at least 2 reasons or more. Why is it? That's the question. And we need to answer that. The second question says, is this a positive or a negative development? We also need to say whether this is a positive trend or it's a negative trend. What we believe in is going to be reflected here in our essay. Now, I am going to say the very first sentence, which is always my attention grabber. My attention grabber is going to say that this is a trend in certain geographical locations in the world that people prefer to work on their own body individually instead of joining a team and doing a group exercise or a team activity. That is the way. You can even argue that this happens in more modern countries or developed countries. Because when you are, it's too much focus on individualism. When you become rich, you tend to have a special care for your own self. So no one knows better about your body than you yourself. In developed countries, more people tend to hire personal fitness trainers. Then I'm going to address the rubric. Please note that in my thesis statement, I need to mention the reasons and whether it's a positive or negative trend. So labeling the reasons, like there are two main reasons, there are three main reasons to this positive development or to this negative development. You will say that. But before, we need some sort of a paraphrasing of the rubric. We need to lay the ground. This is going to be a connector between this one. You grab people's attention by saying a sentence like, people decided in certain geographical locations, people have started to realize there is more benefit in investing in themselves by hiring personal fitness trainers than joining team activities. Oh, that's a good attention grabber. Why is that? And then you, in the connecting info, you can say that this trend happens, for instance, in more developed countries, and it's a modern trend that started since the last decade or so, and there are many reasons for that. Then you say your thesis statement by saying reasons A and B are the main contributors to this positive, negative trend, and that would be your thesis statement. Now, of course, in the very first sentence, I would like to talk about the reasons. And in the second body paragraph, I would like to say if it is a positive or a negative trend. I'm going to go for positive, and you can definitely switch this and say no, it's negative. For the sake of this video, I'm going to go for positive. And for this to be a positive trend, there are certain qualities that I would like to associate. You can say one quality, you can say two qualities. And after that, I, of course, am going to paraphrase my thesis statement that I just told you. Reasons A and B are the main reasons. They are not the only reasons. There are more reasons to this. We don't have time. So in my opinion, I just picked two of the most important ones, and I mentioned them here in this essay. So the reasons, and whether it's positive or negative, goes over there. And if I already think you're going to end up with two sentences, but if you need another sentence, go over some predictions or make some suggestions, very generic suggestions that, yeah, if people do not follow this, if this trend goes well, more countries, more people on the planet will be focusing on their own bodies. They will realize the value of investing in their own health. This is good. This will later contribute to team sports, team activities, so on and so forth. So very generic. This sentence has to be in the framework of your response, and it's not something completely different. Please do not write new information in conclusion. I must repeat that, because conclusion is not another paragraph. It's the paragraph that you conclude everything you just mentioned. Okay, now I'm going to get into a little tricky details for this particular essay. You, of course, realize that I devoted two paragraphs because we had two questions. So I devoted one paragraph each. You can, of course, devote more paragraphs. Now, this one depends. If you feel that there are you have the knowledge to even expand on the reasons and come up with three, and that is something substantial, in that case you might want to say, okay, I'm going to devote a large body paragraph to these three reasons. And then I'm going to just expand the positive element into two paragraphs. So I'm going to add one paragraph over here, and I'm going to devote another paragraph, so the two qualities will be on the positive side. This is a bit more challenging, but I'm introducing a way for you to express this. Another one, which is not one I am going to recommend, is to say that generally speaking, everything here is positive. So you combine these two, you believe this is a positive trend, and there are certain reasons for that. And instead you are going to say that this is positive, and there is a reason, there is positive, and another reason for that, and there is positive, and another reason for that. And you combine reasons with the positivity. This is possible, but I don't want you to do that. Combining these two is usually a bad idea. IELTS separates these two questions for a reason. Addressing them separately, developing them separately, is a bonus, is a sign that you understood the question carefully. You read this essay or the essay rubric clearly. So please make sure that you don't do this. You focus on reasons. You can do something like, I'm going to say two reasons, but I'm going to devote one paragraph to the qualities. So this would be three. So why we have this trend? Because of this and because of this. And do you believe it's a positive or negative development? And you say it's positive due to the qualities that this positive trend brings. So this is a way to organize your essay and control your word count. You can control the number of words you write in paragraphs. Let's say this is 80 words, another 80 words, another 80 words. This is 240 words in body paragraphs. Then you add 40 words here, 40 words here. You will end up around 340 words, which is quite a lot and sufficient for every single point that you needed to develop. And you did develop them properly here in this essay. Anyway, I hope this has helped you organize your essays better. If you wish to see a sample on this, you know where to click. If you wish to see other videos with this little green apple where we plan for task 1s and task 2s, click over here. Don't forget, eat healthy.